Hey everyone, welcome back to Squarebox Games. Today we are going to open another Marvel Champions Zero pack. We've got another X-Men here. Rogue. Excited to see what she has in store for us. So, a Nemesis set featuring Mystique. Alright, let's waste no time. So, Rogue's a great character. I'm really interested to see how her abilities translate into this game. But, as always, we have our cool poster. Ooh. Let's see. A lot of keywords here. Stalwart, team up trait, villainous, rules clarifications. Interesting there. So some other frequently asked questions for her deck, which means she may be a bit confusing, more of an advanced deck. And she comes with protection. She begins the game with her touch upgrade set aside. Use her skin contact ability or energy transfer event to attach touch to a character. I'm going to go ahead and say she is not a beginner-friendly character. She probably has a little bit more advanced of a play style from the fact that there's frequently asked questions about her deck specifically. But we'll see. Especially, maybe we'll see. It depends how long it takes me to unwrap this. But she is one of the waves of this first section of X-Men that we're getting for Champions. There's so many X-Men, they could probably make an entire game just with all of them, but here we are. Okay, Rogue. 2/2/2, right across the board. Hand size of 5, hit points 11. Not the best, but the hit points aren't bad. Skin contact. Attach touch to another character. You gain each of the attached character's traits until the end of the round. Force response after the player phase begins. Find touch and set it aside. Wow. So she's going to be kind of morphing into other people's traits. All right, there's her alter ego form. Setup, set your touched upgrade aside. Withdrawn. After you change this form, set touch aside. So if it's on someone, you switch to alter ego, it goes away. So let's see what this touch card is all about. Let's put you right there, Rogue. If touch is attached to a minion, Rogue attacks gain overkill. This is in addition to getting the traits of those characters. If it's a villain, Rogue gets to retaliate, 1. An ally, Rogue gains aerial. On a hero, Rogue gains stalwart. Nice, you can put that on one of your allies. So let's just put that right there. Okay, Gambit. Gambit enters the play with 3 charge counters on him. When Gambit attacks, remove his charge counter and deal damage to an enemy. Nice, and he's got 2 attack and thwart, and he only takes 1 consequential damage. Not a lot of health though, but seems very similar to his deck. Rogue's Jacket. While touch is attached to a friendly character, Rogue gets +1 thwart. If it's attached to an enemy, +1 attack. Nice, that's awesome. So that would give her, what, 3 and 3 for those? Going Rogue. Superpower. Thwart. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. If Rogue has aerial, remove 2 additional threat. Retaliate, confuse an enemy. Stalwart, draw a card. Ooh, there's going to be a lot of choices in this game, and it's going to play real differently depending on what that touch thing is on. A lot of strategy on determining what type of card this is going to go on, because that determines basically what these cards do. There's 3 of those. Southern Cross, similar situation here. It's an attack that deals 6, but then also it can deal 2 additional damage, stun the enemy, or draw a card depending on what touch is attached to. Okay, Energy Transfer. Attach touch to a character other than Rogue and deal 2 damage to that character, and heal 2 damage from Rogue and ready her. Wow! You gain each of the attached characters' traits until the end of the round. So not only do you deal 2 damage and get a put that on someone else you want to maybe make one of these cards to do exactly what you want it to do, you get a heal 2 damage and ready Rogue. That is insane for only 2. That's crazy. Bulletproof Bell. Defense. When an enemy with touch attached to it attacks, prevent all damage from the attack and gain a tough status card. Man, that is crazy as well. Especially if you put that on the villain or a nemesis. Superpower Adaption. If touch is attached to a friendly character, search its owner's discard pile for an event that belongs to the same classification as that character. Identity, specific, aspect, or basic. Okay. And add that event to your hand. So you can just get you can put Rogue on herself, I think, or touched on rogue. To another character. I don't know if you can actually do it on another character. But man, that's crazy. You can help your allies out with that quite a bit. So that's her signature cards. Those look insane, and I love them. She looks like so much fun to play already. And she comes with protection. So let's see who we get. Iceman enters the play with 3 freeze counters on him. After a minion enters play, remove a freeze counter and stun the minion. So wow, that's cool. Karma. After you play Karma from your hand, choose a non-elite minion. While Karma's in play, take control of that minion and treat it as a controlled ally with a blank text box. Its thwart is equal to its printed scheme, and it takes 2 consequential damage after it thwarts or attacks. That's pretty cool. She doesn't do anything, but you can take a minion and put it on your side. Not an elite one, so that probably takes away, Nemesis. Armor, play only if you have the X-Men trait. And Armor's got toughness. Unflappable, play under any player's control, max 1 per player. After you defend against an attack and take no damage, exhaust it to draw a card. Judoka skill, uses 3 judo counters. When you defend against an enemy attack, remove 1 counter, and the enemy gets -2 attack for the attack. That's awesome. Very protection-like. Preemptive strike, when a boost card is turned face up while the villain attacks, just cancel all the icons on the card, then do 1 damage to the villain for each boost icon canceled that way. Love it. Not today. When your hero defends against an attack, he gets +2 defense. If you take no damage, remove 2 threat from his scheme, because why not? Defense energy, max 2 per deck. When you spin this card to play a defense card, or defense event, draw a card. Nice. Looks to be an interesting combo so far, and let's look at the basic cards. Mariah McTaggart, there's a name. Play only if you have the mutant trait. After a mutant alter ego changes into hero form, exhaust her, and that hero's controller draws a card. X-Gene. Exhaust it to generate a wild resource for identity-specific event. Nice. Obviously only be played by mutants. Beauty and the Thief. We've seen that in Gambit's deck. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and remove 4 threat from the scheme. And then we have Energy, Genius, and Strength. That looks like a really fun deck right there. I'm excited to play with that. But let's see the obligation cards. How bad is this going to be? Give to the rogue player. If touched is attached to a friendly character, deal 2 damage to that character. Discard this card. If it's not attached to a friendly character, which I would imagine most of the time it's probably not, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Discard this card. Okay. And we have to fight Mystique from the Brotherhood of Mutants. 1 scheme, 1 attack, but tough and villainous. After Mystique engages you, search the encounter deck, discard pile, and set aside area for a copy of the Misled Treachery and shuffle it into your deck. Interesting. I'm sure we're going to see what that is here in a second after the side scheme. Mystique's manipulations. While she knows Mystique can't be trusted, Rogue still finds it hard to reject the woman who raised her. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a copy of Misled Treachery and shuffle them to your deck. So you're getting that put into your deck? That's interesting. So you get 2 of them put into your deck already when these come out. Let's see what they do. Shapeshifter. When revealed, shuffle this card into your deck so it goes back into your deck. Gosh, and then it can search. After this card enters your hand, place 2 threat on the main scheme. Okay, you can discard that at the end of the player phase. Yikes, so that's interesting. I like that twist. I haven't seen many Nemesis cards that do something like that. It's kind of almost like a Mysterio where it puts cards in your deck to kind of clog you up here. So that's Rogue. That's her stuff. Let's see what extra cards we get. A Med Lab. There's Beast right there. 1 per player. After an ally is defeated by consequential damage, exhaust Med Lab and place it here. 1 ally at a time. Alter ego action. Exhaust it to play the ally here as if it was your hand. It enters play exhausted. I like that a lot. That's really cool. Especially leadership, my favorite aspect. I have a feeling I'm going to put these in a few of my Probably my Ant-Man deck, Captain America deck. All right. Oh, that's the only player cards you get. But that's a good one. Now the extra modular set. Donald Pierce. This is part of the Reavers modular set. Teamwork Reaver, Villainous. Force response. After Donald Pierce engages you, reveal the topmost Reaver minion from the discard pile. Yikes. Here's one of them. Skullbuster. Toughness. After he engages you, place a threat on the main scheme for each Reaver minion engaged with you. Bonebreaker. Toughness. When he engages you, take 1 indirect damage for each Reaver. Oh gosh, these keep adding up if you have a bunch of them out. Wade Cole. Lets you bring out, or makes you bring out cybernetic enhancements and attach it to him, which is probably right there in the end. Murray Reese. Search for that same card and attach it to him instead. The Reavers. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme discards cards from the encounter deck until a Reaver is discarded, then you reveal them. So 5 with a, extra boost card. That's not terrible. Here's the enhancements. Attach a minion, otherwise it gains surge. The attached minion cannot take damage. Jeez. After that attached minion attacks, discard this. So for 1 turn, they're invincible, and they get +1 attack, and then this goes away. That stinks. But I like having these difficult modulars. It makes it fun, especially when some of these decks seem so good. But that is Rogue. I'm going to be honest, she looks super fun. Protection is probably the aspect I play the least. But I'm actually excited to play her Precon right out of the box. But that's Rogue. I will take up no more of your time. But if you guys don't mind, it'd be awesome if you hit subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to us. We try to do a lot of unboxings and all that for Marvel Champions in addition to Let's Plays. But until next time, go play some games.